hold on. West Virginia within a game of winning the Big 12. Arizona State finishing 11th and Oklahoma State in the top 5. Are these the dumbest Big 12 preseason predictions ever? No, because they're mine. This is the Locked On Dose Grande Squad.
You're talking ball with the Big 12 squad. From Oklahoma State to Utah, from Kansas State to BYU, from Houston to Texas Tech, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming Big 12 weekend. Buckle up. It's the Big 12 squad, and we have a seat for you. No hurt feelings and thin skin allowed. Squad up. You're part of the Big 12 squad.
No hurt feelings or thin skin allowed, jabrones. It's the Dose Grande Squad. And happy Thursday, everybody. Come into the Locked On Big 12 Squad. There's Cody Silva of Locked On Oklahoma State. Cam Stewart covers the Baylor Bears. Parker Ainsworth, Locked On Cougs. All things Houston. Jake Hatch of Locked On Cougars. I know. It's profiling reasons. Covering BYU. Christian Rao, Locked On K-State. Philip Mulford, Locked On Sun Devils. JT Wisterself, Locked On Utes. And there he is, Mountaineer Paul of Locked On West Virginia. If you hit subscribe, we all get to keep our jobs. And let's jump right into it. The Locked On Big 12 preseason rankings were released this week. Now, you will remember that last year the rankings, preseason rankings were completely accurate, and I was right about everyone. Including BYU and Texas Tech. I think it was JT, the bald guy, who was like, "No, you can't do BYU."
You were way too low on Arizona last year. You had the second to last, but you did call the title game. Like, credit where credit is due. You had the top 3 in the conference, right? I will give you that, sir.
Thank you. And yeah, I had Utah at 3 last season. Yes. This year, I still think of the top 2, and I'm not rare in this. Everybody's pretty much got BYU and Texas Tech in their top 2 in the Big 12 this season. Past that, I foresee a lot of chaos, like West Virginia, Oklahoma State being 2 of the better teams in the Big 12 conference, and even Arizona and Arizona State regressing. I will open the floor to the number 11 overall preseason predicted team, Philip Mulford's Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah, this is just...
All right, let's move it to JT. So Utah this season is going to be really stout at the quarterback position.
Oh, man. This is such a... okay. Sure, we have 3 returning week 1 starters from last year here, Drake, but I think in your show yesterday you said zero faith in Cutter Boley, but somehow DJ Lagway is going to be...
You keep making the quote worse and worse, by the way.
I am quoting from your show, and Cutter Boley is your quarterback. I still don't have faith in Cutter Boley.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's right. And you compare him to DJ Lagway. They have almost the exact same career stats, and yet DJ Lagway is going to go set the world on fire and beat us in our own house. Which is not going to happen week 4, by the way, just so we're clear.
Did you see what the scouts said about DJ Lagway?
Did I see that? I mean, look, if he turns it around, he's still got Dave Aranda as your head coach.
Best arm in August.
Best arm in August.
He's got the Candyman now, though. He's got the Candyman.
Tonight. Let's go. I do think Arizona State's biggest limiting factor is Cutter Boley. I mean, I think he is going to be pretty darn good. But when you're of the stature of Arizona State and you have Kenny Dillingham coming back, I do think that a lot of people anticipated they would take a massive swing. DJ Lagway is known as a hot commodity because of his previous status as a consensus 4-star All-American, which Cutter Boley didn't get that advantage of. But again, I think when you're looking at some of the Darian Minces and the Drew Messmakers of the world, it felt like Arizona State could have and was going to get one of those guys. So it kind of feels like Cutter Boley is a good option, but slightly underwhelming for how big time Arizona State is.
Now, to be fair to Philip, and kind of this point, the Big 12 Conference is much weaker at the quarterback position this year than we were last year. Last season, we went 9-10 guys deep of names everyone in college football will know. This year, you add in a Drew Messmaker, who's really, you add in a possible, maybe Boley's great. Maybe DJ Lagway takes a step up. But there are way more question marks now than there were a year ago for who our quarterbacks are going to be. Now we're leaning on Connor Wegman.
Hey, watch it. Here's what I will say, though, Drake, is last year...
What's that, Hatch?
Drake,
hit me with it. Hatch, what was that again? Right before?
Hey, Texas Tech may have Thomas Castellanos.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, guys, don't you know that
what
we already
can
know?
catch them on. So last year, Drake, you put records out with this. I actually pulled up to see where you had us at last year. You had Houston at 8-4 and finishing 7th. They finished 9-3, right? So I'm gonna say if you have them finishing 5th this year, I'm assuming it's around 9-3 again.
9-3, yeah.
You add the game in because you were a game off a year ago, and I'll take 10-2. I'll take 10-2. I really and I don't know if Cody's heard me say this or not. I think the Oklahoma State offense is going to score a lot of points, and that is a scary thing.
Yeah.
You have enough faith in their defense, though, to have them finish top 4. Messmaker is going to throw for a bajillion yards, all the whatever. But Drake, and obviously Cody's nodding, and I would imagine he would. Drake's got the defense good enough to get them at the top 4 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Oklahoma State, and this is a total cop out. Is I don't know. You know, I mean, that's maybe the
You don't know when you put them top 4.
I know. He's like,
Here.
just wore the- he put
Let
the
me
glasses
throw
on so he
an
can be
assist
smart.
into Drake here real quick. I think when you go back and look at the Scholar Cassidy defenses, both at Houston before North Texas and at North Texas, he got them into a top 25 turnover defense. This is back-to-back teams that he's been able to do this for. And I think the biggest benefit he'll have at Oklahoma State is access to resources and talent that he never had as his last 2 stops. So if he can be number 4, number 5, number 8, number 7 in the country in takeaways, I think that will be applicable once again in the Big 12. And the biggest thing is I think he's going to be experimenting with some different fronts that he's never had the athleticism to be able to pull off. And I don't think we'll see it until the Oregon ball game. If all that does come to fruition, then yes, the defense could look a lot like 2011, number 1 in the country in turnovers, very opportunistic, the epitome of bend but don't break. And if the offense is good enough to put up 40 points a game, that's all you need your defense to do.
Right. I think when I say I don't know, thanks for letting me finish. 55 transfers that are in at Oklahoma State. So yes, if you say how do you trust their defense? I don't trust any of it yet, right? And to put them at number 4 is a huge risk. I'm saying and that's why my Locked On Big 12 preseason power rankings, they're at 16. They were the worst team in the Big 12 last year. I'm going to start my power rankings exactly where we ended the year. You've got to earn your way back up. I think every ranking should be like, why is Houston dropping the AP poll? That makes no sense. For me, where I think they'll finish the season, because of defensive line, Jaleel Johnson, James Williams, one of the sneakiest defensive lines in the entire Big 12. Linebacking core of the Weslowski kid is going to be one of the biggest surprises in the Big 12 this season. I know that the personnel that can do it, there is still the question mark of 55 new guys. That there's a big I don't know with where Oklahoma State comes in this year. I just think they're going to finish the conference play. I think they'll finish conference play as one of the top teams in the Big 12.
Elite ball knowledge. Okay. Elite ball knowledge, Drake.
So 55 new ones for Oklahoma State, but MP. How many you guys got? 70, 80? What do we got new guys?
Yeah.
Well, the biggest difference between last year and this year, and I can understand people that don't cover the team would look at it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I think the best point I've heard made is Josh Pates. He said, look, if you look at this West Virginia roster this year, the biggest difference between last year to this year is clearly Rich Rod and company had to build out of the second portal window last year. They were hired in December. It was not going to work from the jump. This year's team is it's the second recruiting class in the Big 12. It's a top 20 portal class, is a top 20 recruiting class. So the quality of talent is leaps and bounds beyond what it was last year, even with a similar number of players brought in.
Nicely done, Josh Pate, Mountaineer Paul.
Drop the mic right there from Paul.
There we go.
I feel like West Virginia is actually kind of similar in my head. I think the difference to me is that like it's the second year under it all, right? And like I like the running back a lot.
What did Kenny Dillingham do in year 2, asshole?
I was gonna say, there are a lot of coaches in the Big 12 that have a decent track record with their second year somehow.
Yeah, Rich Rod averages around 8 years.
And Miranda has been here for how long, Cam? You can't call that one for this year.
Year two.
Year two.
But with a cat with 9 lives like Dave Miranda, there's a lot of year 2s.
Is that year 2 on the hot seat? Because that's a little bit of a different story.
No, year 2 he won the Sugar Bowl over Lane Kiffin, so that's year 2.
So year 2 of BYU going back to the okay. I like this. Let's go.
Yeah,
but that's why I actually question the West Virginia one less than the Oklahoma State one. Is like it as great as Mestamaker is, and I think he's good. It is year 1. On a side defensive statistics, it's also year 1 for the defense coordinator. Like that's when I draw those question marks. Meanwhile, Houston had a strong year last year and brings back a bunch of the guys and added again a top 10 portal class and the best recruiting class in school history. And I've cited these numbers a lot of times. I don't need to keep repeating them. I think that they'll be in that. If we have 4 bars of 4 here, I think they'll be closer to the top bar than the second bar. Personally,
yeah, I agree. And I think if you've got to look, money where my mouth is, Houston on the over on wins, and I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest if Houston wins. If Houston goes to the Big 12 title game, I'd be surprised. I'd be shocked if they won the Big 12 this year. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they're in Arlington. And I think other national analysts put them there for good reason.
And then maybe a segment 2 thing, because I think is this going to be a how they actually finish, or is this more of a power ranking? Because I actually think that conversation with Houston's pretty interesting because of their schedule.
This is the how they will finish. And another team that I want to get into, we can keep going to Arizona State, Utah. We haven't got to Kansas State yet, or Baylor. I think Kansas State's one of the sneakiest teams in the Big 12, and we're not talking enough about right now. You looked at On3's NIL valuations, the Big 12. 3 of their top 12 players in the conference are at Kansas State. For guys that should get paid and have NFL careers, that makes K-State dangerous. Let's go there next. And I'd like to hear from Jake Hatch, too, who, oddly enough, we haven't heard from a ton. All right, here on the Dose.
That's why it's been a great episode.
Stop.
Wow.
It is the Dose Grande Squad, and today's show is brought to you by our friends at Indeed. Indeed sponsored jobs is exactly where I go this time every year, because the last thing I want to do is get in Twitter fights. And you're like, what? The Locked On Big 12 account loves to get in Twitter fights. Not me. That's what the intern comes in for. So I can sit back, drink my Mai Tai, watch the manatees play in the ocean, but somebody else can handle my dirty business. Support for today's episode comes from Indeed sponsored jobs. And that's where I go and open up this internship. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Usually the biggest difference isn't someone doing more work. It's having somebody who knows exactly what needs to happen and help everything run smoother, or run more chaotically. Spend less time searching, more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. Listeners of this show get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast, Indeed.com/podcast. Right now, support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast, Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire. That is a job for Indeed. Sponsored jobs. Indeed. All right, let's get everybody in there. There you are. All right. Before Jake Hatch has to go, he's got to jump. He's got important meetings with he's mediating Delani Sitake and Brian Santiago tonight. Hatch, biggest question mark I have for BYU still is wide receiver. In a minute before you got to go, help me with wide receiver at BYU.
So BYU has used the portal very effectively at wide receiver and recruiting. They have JoJo Phillips back, who I thought showed flashes last year of being a true number 1 guy, but then broke his clavicle, so he was out most of the season. You have him. You add Kyler Casper via Oregon. You have Legend Glasgow, who's a freshman sensation. And then you add a guy that they picked up via the FCS route in Reggie Frischneck. You now have 4 guys at wide receiver that look the part. We're talking guys who stand at least 6 foot, 3 of them 6'4" or taller. And then also you have a tandem at tight end that Aaron Roderick has been effusive in his praise about, and Walker Lyons and Roger Saliapaga, who are also transfer portal additions. Those 6, they'll play a lot of 12 personnel on the field with the tight end tandem that they think is very capable of matching up with anybody on the field. And assuming that those 6 are capable of matching expectations, I think you're going to have Bear Bachmeier, a nice group of wide receivers and tight ends to throw the ball to.
Hatch, appreciate your time this week.
Hey, really quick. I talked to someone who told me he thinks on paper it's a bottom 5 receiver core in the country.
Barry Banner.
Hang
the banner. JT
talked to someone.
JT, your program would know about bottom 5 wide receiver room.
Your program would know about bottom.
JT, you need to stop taking notes from homeless people before you get on air, bro.
I thought we discussed this last week about the quality of
how many BYU wide receivers can you name? Jake just said their names. How many can you name?
Jasper. And he's like 6'5", and he's like a consensus 4-star All-American.
I think
he's got documentation. He's got documentation.
He's got.
I think the thing Jake is being way too kind on is this. This is actually interesting, and I want to get to it. This feels like it's shifting to a running back conference, whether it's Cam or not near Paul.
Player of the year, LJ Martin.
LJ Martin. I could tout Mekhi Hughes. I feel like a lot of teams actually would tout the running back right now. And as he runs off the stage here, I actually kind of think that's probably BYU's more clear path, right, to a top 3 finish, right?
K-State might have the most underrated running back in the league.
Come on, K-State.
They did lose.
How many running backs in the Big 12 rushed for 293 yards in one game last year against the Morgan Scally defense?
Dude, he's a beast.
That's true. That was a bad day.
How many?
Still got the win, but it was a bad day.
Okay.
Go on, Christian. You talk that talk.
How about a Rodney Fields? Who's got a Rodney Fields? Is it Oklahoma State? Oh no, it's Kansas State.
I think I've got Kansas State in that 7 to 9 win range. Christian,
I think that's fair, Drake.
Where do you have Kansas State going into 2026?
My head was in the clouds last year. I had Avery Johnson as like a dark horse candidate for Heisman Trophy. I'm trying to be very level-headed this year as much as possible. I'm going to be completely fair. It might be a boring take, but I think when I saw like our friends at FanDuel giving 8.5 wins, I thought that was insane. I was like, what are we doing giving Kansas State 8.5 wins to start off this season? The schedule, people think it's fair, but it's wild because there's a lot to prove. It's a brand new head coach, Colin Klein. He's never done this before. And we saw what happened in the college football playoffs last year. If his offense has stumbled a little bit, now we're going into this Big 12. So as much as I want to be excited about it, which there is a lot of reasons to be excited for, I am trying to be really like holding my brakes on certain things. I think a 9-win ceiling is more than fair for Kansas State this year. No doubt.
Hey, Christian, which is more insane? K-State at 8.5 or Arizona State 6.5?
I'm on the Drake side here. I don't believe in Arizona State this year either, bud. So.
Yeah, really? 6.5.
I'm surprised y'all are all low on the Sun Devils. I'm with Philip.
I also always don't believe in Utah either. So as long as
okay, Christian, we'll like, there you go. I'll give you
a baby Christian. I think Dillingham's the best coach in the league. Phillips talked about that wide receiver core they have before too. I think on defense they got some fun, exciting transfers in there too. We have the best
linebacker core and the best secondary that we've ever had, and it's by a significant margin.
Yeah. Willie Fritz has coached longer than Kenny's been alive, and he's never been fired. I mean,
Dave Aranda has the same number of Big 12 titles as Kenny Dillingham, by the way.
Okay, we live in a world of what have you done lately on Aranda?
It took Dave Aranda 2 years.
How many years has he been a head coach?
It took him 2 years. The same number.
How many years has he been a head coach? What has he done?
Only one to beat
that?
Tech last year too. Only one.
Owen Long can't save Arizona State this year. He's going to be fun, but he can't save them. So
I think Christian even undersold K-State a little bit. If there's anybody in the country that can be more suited to run that style of offense, it's Colin Klein. He's a Big 12 dude that ran this style of system while he was a quarterback in the Big 12, and we couldn't stop him. He could Tim Tebow over the line and tell us exactly what the play was, and nobody could stop them. He was able to do that with Marcel Reed at Texas A&M. I think Avery Johnson and Marcel Reed are almost carbon copies of each other.
I'm being my own devil's advocate here. I'm being my own devil's advocate here, though, too, because as much as I loved Avery Johnson last year, under Matt Wells, it didn't work. And there's all those conversations where the accuracy wasn't an issue. There's no doubt.
Now there's his family from fist fighting. He should be fine.
Now there's no Jace Brown. There's no Jace Brown. We have a running back room that's great. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, that offensive lineman getting hurt is really tough, though, Christian.
And
we
lost Devin Boss.
That's a big one, yeah.
That's not the offensive lineman we're talking about. But Drake brought up the NIL valuation of 3 top players in the Big 12 being highly paid. That's Avery Johnson. That's Wendell Gregory. And that third one's George Fitzpatrick. He's out for the year with a medical injury. Then you lost John Pastore, another tackle, out for the season. There are some valid concerns. And I hate for Kansas State to listen to this and be like, man, you're not sunshine pumping, but I'm trying to be level headed this year.
I'm more intrigued by
that.
Where did that come from?
Camper Steve, Phil Steele, and Drake Toll, all 3 love West Virginia this year.
That's it. Before we move on to, and there's plenty to get to. We have college football this weekend. TCU plays North Carolina. We have Big 12 football this weekend. Cameron Stewart, name 3 Baylor players. Challenge impossible.
Why get rid of the spotlight?
He hasn't said much. He has not said much, has he?
Look, Cam, I'll give you one. I've already mentioned one player here already. You got DJ Lagway. That one's for
Terrell Bernard, Richard Reese, Dick Reese.
You say Terrell Bernard? Let's go.
Daniel Sepulveda. That's great. The OG Big 12 folks remember the greatest punter in Big 12 history.
Yeah, baby.
You have the jerseys. Congrats, Cam. You got the jerseys.
Thank you. Jerseys of the.
I'm excited for Lagway. I don't know how it's going to go, but I think it's going to be fun.
I loved him at
fun.
We tell you,
whenever I did my Baylor preview, Baylor brought in Power 4 talent from a bunch of places. They've got Oklahoma. They've got Arkansas. They've got guys coming from everywhere. The kid Miller from Colorado, Shelton from Arkansas, I think it was, Jordan from Oklahoma. Like, they've got guys, that came in that were Power 4 guys.
Yeah, and Drake mentioned the AD thing. Like, that is a big thing of them. They're not being that massive distraction. I think if it was really that bad under Mac Rhodes, I think that could actually be something. So I think there's a world.
It's also probably the only reason they haven't. The AD is probably the only reason they haven't fired the coach yet, right? Is they can't do both at the same time. Well, you bring up Power 4. You bring up Power 4 transfers. I mean, essentially, your running back, I think, would make you agree with me. I feel like it's actually better to go
It's
the
not
other route.
necessary, but it's also a benefit if you can get it. You know, I mean,
Well, no, but to go the other route where you're getting a guy from a smaller school moving up, as opposed, I mean, we see that work out a lot more than the guy that flamed out.
I mean, yeah, look at Kent.
yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah,
There's something to be said about players.
Hunter
that's-
Wegman, what are we
give a
doing?
crap.
What?
But the entire rest of the Houston Cougar roster is the other direction.
And he was more hurt,
What
right?
if you can get
Wegman-
one
He was
Hunter
hurt.
Wegman?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can generalize that take. Saying from P4 transfers or group of 6 transfers, which one's better off. I think that's a situational kind of thing. I don't know if you can generalize that.
Yeah, but I think there's something that could be said in regards to somebody that's still chasing something. Like when you get a guy that transferred from UCLA that just made $600,000, I'm not saying he's going to be less or motivated than somebody coming from a North Texas or UTSA. But if somebody's never experienced getting the bag and they're still chasing those massive aspirations, I do think that you could see some of that Kurt Signetti action out of it. It all depends on the P4 player and how much give a crap he still has left in the tank after already getting a bag.
Yeah. Good conversations all the way across the board here and about the Big 12. It's finally season. I feel it in my bones.
Yes.
We're finally talking about Big 12 football, which is awesome. Let's go to TCU, North Carolina, because I think something really bad is about to happen. This is the Dose Grande squad. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Look, I love going to FanDuel during the baseball season because I can go in as a baseball fan, and even if I don't watch the game, I'm always checking the box score after to see did my favorite player hit a home run? Did Shohei Ohtani hit a home run? Did come on, Freddie Freeman hit a home run? It's the Daily Dingers. You just pick a guy, man. Name a baseball player. Nolan Shonowell. And if he hits a home run, then you get a profit boost to use your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season with Daily Dingers. Another fun way to stay engaged with every day's game. So pick your favorite player. If it's a Shohei Ohtani or a Nolan Shonowell. Pick your Kyle Schwarber if you want. Sometimes it's a hitter who's been on a hot streak. Other times a favorable matchup. So are you ready to play your game today? Join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball. Swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of MLB. It's FanDuel, an official partner of MLB at FanDuel.
All right, another fun fact, Drake. I think you could make up names in that FanDuel segment, and none of us would know.
Cam would know.
He said Noah Shonowell. I know exactly what he's talking about. I piqued my interest. I said, "Are you kidding me? Look at that."
I'm not saying I don't know any of the names. I'm saying you could throw in some made up ones. I would just nod along.
Yeah, no one's a buddy. No one's a buddy. He's a good guy. I think that Bill Belichick on Monday will really need to go to the orthodontist in London specifically for 2 reasons. One, he's getting his teeth kicked in. 2, they're not going to let him ride the team plane back to Chapel Hill. He's going to be stuck in London. Well, he'll be in Dublin, but he'll have to travel to London to get him. Well, shoot, I definitely don't want to get my teeth worked on in London.
Talk about hard knocks, am I right? Hard knocks getting canceled.
Hey, get it?
Hey, I don't pay attention to what's happening on ACC territory a whole lot, but our fans,
I don't know.
North Carolina expecting to go get a win over TCU. I wouldn't imagine.
The spread on FanDuel is like 7.5 TCU.
It's only 7.5. I'm about to win so much money. About to win so much money. Are you kidding me? I'm going to go to FanDuel and put so much money on TCU minus 7.5. Are you kidding me?
The other thing that's crazy is the best thing that North Carolina had going for them last year was their defensive coordinator, Stephen Belichick, who's not even there. Like that's
he's on Mitch McConnell. Him and Mitch McConnell are in the same hospital room right now. We haven't heard from either in weeks.
You do have, TCU has lost 2 of their starters in the last week because they fought and one into the hospital. One was dismissed from the team. I don't know how much that's going to make a difference. But
that is true. That is true.
Darren's not here to talk about it. I am super intrigued as to how this quarterback thing works out for them, though.
Yeah.
The guy that dominated at Harvard, that translate? Like, that is a really cool story.
He's the greatest Harvard quarterback since the 1930s, since before World War II.
Which is ironically when Ryan Fitzpatrick went there, actually.
Is no one going to mention the fact that we have a purple team playing in Dublin and we're excited about them? Is no one going to talk about that?
Well, the last purple team that played in Dublin,
it didn't work, guys.
The quarterback's brother and the quarterback's dad got into a fight in a puddle in the parking lot.
We had a running back that kicked a bench. He was out for the season. I mean, it was bad.
Man, these international games, if you win, you're going to have a great year. If you lose, Season's gone. Like
if you lose, you opt out of the bowl game. That's what happens.
You opt out. No, Kristen, you opt out of the rest.
Or if you win, apparently you win or lose, you opt out of the bowl games.
No, Cam. Drake tells me that you are going to smash Arizona State in Tempe and go 10-2 and somehow make the college football playoffs.
Drake tells me Cam's in a different kind of bowl. Is all I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing.
I have a legitimate concern about TCU.
Okay.
Are we concerned about the locker room incident with TCU and the culture there? Yes. Because several players spitting on a guy and hazing a guy and not being taken care of by coaches. That sounds to me like could be a little bit rotten in there. Hopefully not.
But it's still
can we get a breaking news bit, even though this goes live on Thursday?
So are we going to call this the absolute disaster bowl? Because North Carolina.
I don't have a breaking news, but I have this.
No. All right. We're recording this spoiler for folks at home on Monday.
Safety video.
But for Phil Mulford, Houston just signed Arizona State star safety Miles Rouser.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
Wait, what?
No. So we had one slot on our roster, and it was between Miles Rouser and Jacob Richkin-Geika. We lost one of our starting defensive tackles to a season-ending ACL injury, like right after spring practices ended. And it was becoming very clear. Now, I don't even know if we're getting Jacob Richkin-Geika because the injunction was kiboshed. Rouser was able to go join a different injunction. But we only have one spot, and we needed a defensive lineman. So while Rouser is arguably a better player, we have this insanely deep secondary. And our defensive and our tackles, the DTs, are just not nearly as deep. So we're trying to get Jacob Richkin-Geika. And he was apparently on campus on Monday, on last Friday. And then the injunction came, or the stay on the injunction came down. Now who knows no idea knows what's happening. But it does not surprise me that he went somewhere else.
He led the Sun Devils in tackles. He led the Sun Devils in tackles the year they went to the playoffs and was an all Big 12 player last year.
Big 12 challenge.
I challenge pretty much in penalties last year.
I challenge everybody on here at least one time this week on one of your shows that use the word kibosh. Thank you.
What?
Challenge accepted.
Did you say kibosh?
Before Thursday?
Kibosh.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. Before no, you can do it on Friday. I don't care. You
put it on a thumbnail, Paul.
Funny if we do it before it drops.
Yeah, kibosh.
I will do it.
No one would know why it was
kibosh.
We'll do that. In conclusion,
couldn't they go grab that 6'5" NFL wide receiver that hasn't really done?
Yeah, why aren't we getting NFL players? What's the deal with that?
Standards, Drake.
Well,
They were former Houston Cougars in the the NFL tweeting out
I love
I'm
the
available.
SEC statement on that too. It's just the statement is just, we don't like it, but they didn't make any action behind it. The statement.
They're not going to because these coaches too. They can say the right thing, but they just want to do what's going to help them win the most. That's why
they don't actually want them out. They want them to play and they want it on TV. They don't actually want them out. They're going to say that they don't. And the folks in Austin are just jealous he didn't choose Austin. Like that's all this is.
And the SEC has zero teeth whatsoever.
Someone else was going to do it.
We're acknowledging that Lane Kiffin called the Cleveland Browns head coach. That's what it is.
Hey, does anybody know if Tech is seriously trying to get Castellanos, or is that just
sounds like it?
Well, they're trying to get him, I think.
Which makes sense.
Chris is talking about it in July.
If everyone's going to do something, why not bring in a veteran quarterback option as a backup? You can do a lot worse than that.
Because
I get why they're doing it.
He's coming
I was hoping that we had people with integrity in this conference, and we didn't have a bunch of Lane Kiffins as coaches.
Integrity aside, and I agree, Cody, that probably does need to be some of that.
Integrity aside, it's awesome. Great way to start.
Throw that away real quick.
If you're a Tech fan,
your integrity right there.
Kibosh your integrity. If you're a Tech fan though, and you lose, I mean, it doesn't have to be the Houston game. I'm not going to be a homer here, but if you lose 2 games, are people not going to be asking for Castellanos to get in the game? I mean, or you're about to lose your second game. He beat Alabama a year ago.
I was probably more supportive than many of Texas Tech during the Sorsby deal because LSU would have done the same thing. Alabama would have done the same thing. Everybody else would have run to the kids' rescue. I think Tech handled it. Was it a PR nightmare? For sure. Was the roundtable thing bad? Absolutely. But I came to Tech's rescue as much as I could because I was like, shoot, dude, this is just modern college football. Everyone's a little corrupt. You got to just play the cards you're dealt.
Same.
If they pick up a new starting quarterback 8 days before the college football season, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that game.
I'm
Joey,
with you, Drake.
off season. Joey's like, man,
anybody.
What y'all don't understand is we were going to start Will Hammond the whole time. It's just he's kind of banged up. We always believed in Will.
So many Tech fans in my comments about no, we weren't even going to start Sorsby. Like, what are you talking about? Like, guys, no.
Sounds like
my respect will go out the window for Tech if they pull this bull crap off after all of that Sorsby saga ridiculousness.
Yeah. Several of us would put the kibosh on whatever integrity or whatever respect we had for Tech.
By the way, speaking of Lane Kiffin, did you guys see Ole Miss had the FBI come in and sweep for bugs?
What? That's all. Yeah, they did.
No, I didn't.
Insane.
Really?
That's just left. That's just a holdovers from the Houston Nut Hugh Freeze situation. By the way, that's not even doesn't have to do with Lane Kiffin.
Oh yeah, we forgot to grab these on the way out. They ran out of battery years ago.
Poor Houston.
Is Tech the only Big 12 school that is at least publicly contemplating doing this NFL bull crap, right?
Yeah, right now I think so.
Well,
see what happens after
no, that's interesting because it does depend what you call an NFL player. Like Houston just brought back Boogie Johnson, who was in camp but got cut early.
Miles Rouser was in the Seahawks.
Miles Rouser was a undrafted whatever that got cut early. So
it used to be as soon as you signed an agent, it was over. You know,
they're working hard, by the way. The NCAA is to try to shut all this down. So we'll see if any of these guys even play. I know BYU added Jackson Kohler. Like they are working really hard to try.
Did you talk to a guy?
Kibosh all this. Kibosh all this. There you go.
Well, and again, I also think that Boogie had an opportunity because of some things that happened previously in Stillwater. So I think Boogie, it doesn't apply to somebody like a Castellanos personally.
It's okay, Paul.
He is Paul's favorite.
He called a Hail Mary against West Virginia. If you guys don't know,
he got the Hail Mary against West Virginia.
It's Cody Stovall. Locked on Oklahoma State. Mountaineer Paul covers all things West Virginia. Parker Ainsworth with the Houston Cougars. JT Westerfield, Locked on Utes. Philip Mulford, Locked on Sun Devils. Who will win the Big 12 this year? 12-0, as I predicted. Christian Rao.
We're like 9-3, you know.
Covers Kansas State. The Wildcats. Cam Stewart of Locked on Baylor. This has been and always will be Locked on the Dose Grande Squad.